Behind the quiet gates of California, Vanna White's life unfolds like a carefully composed story, one built on patience, calmness, and consistent effort over decades. While many people know her as the smiling co-host of Wheel of Fortune, the reality behind her public persona is far richer and more detailed than most viewers ever imagine. Her home, her lifestyle, and even her daily routines tell a story of someone who has learned to balance public attention with private comfort, turning small, deliberate decisions into long-term success. Before she became the household name recognized across America, Vanna White began life in a small town in South Carolina, surrounded by modest routines and shaped by early family challenges. She was born on February 18, 1957, in Conway, South Carolina, to Joan and Miguel Angel Rosich. Her father left the household when she was very young, leaving her to grow up largely without his presence, which shaped a deep sense of independence and resilience in her early years. Later, her mother remarried Herbert White Jr., a real estate broker in Myrtle Beach, and Vanna took his last name, which she would carry into her professional career. Growing up in North Myrtle Beach, she witnessed her stepfather working in real estate, observing how patience, careful planning, and consistent effort could lead to a stable and reliable livelihood. These lessons, absorbed quietly in her childhood, would inform her decisions as she ventured into the entertainment industry, a world very different from her coastal upbringing. Her teenage years were marked by ordinary routines and small-town life, but also by the early seeds of ambition and discipline that would guide her later career. After graduating from North Myrtle Beach High School, Vanna made a significant decision that set the course for her future. She left her familiar surroundings and moved to Atlanta to study fashion and design, fully aware that she would need to support herself financially. Money was limited, and the transition to a new city meant taking on jobs that allowed her to make ends meet while pursuing her dreams. She worked as a waitress and as a model, learning quickly the importance of appearance, timing, and professionalism in shaping opportunities. Even small experiences, like her first modeling jobs or her efforts to participate in competitions, taught her lessons about persistence, presentation, and resilience. In 1978, she entered the Miss Georgia pageant, where she placed as fourth runner-up. Although this was not a victory that immediately brought fame or wealth, it was an early confirmation that she could perform under pressure, handle public attention, and maintain composure, skills that would be essential later in her television career. After this period of study and early exposure, she moved to Los Angeles with only $1,000 in her pocket, knowing she had no safety net or guaranteed path to success. Her first years in the city were defined by struggle, uncertainty, and frequent rejection, but she faced them with determination. She took small acting roles, participated in auditions, and engaged in temporary work just to survive, learning early on that the entertainment world demanded patience, resilience, and a willingness to face setbacks without losing focus. During the early 1980s, Vanna White had brief appearances in film, including small roles in movies like Looker and Graduation Day, but none of these positions offered long-term security. In 1980, she appeared as a contestant on The Price is Right, a fleeting television moment that did not immediately change her life but introduced her to the rhythms of studio work and the presence of cameras in professional settings. By 1982, she faced financial pressures, yet chose not to rely on family support, preferring to navigate challenges independently. These early experiences shaped her understanding of visibility, privacy, and self-reliance, teaching her that careful choices and patience were more valuable than immediate recognition. Everything changed when Wheel of Fortune sought a new hostess following the departure of the original co-host. Over 200 women auditioned for the role, each bringing their own experience, charisma, and presence. Vanna White was not the most famous nor the most experienced contestant, but she carried an ease, calmness, and clarity that made her stand out in the selection process. On December 13, 1982, she officially stepped onto the set as the new letter turner, a role that at first appeared simple but proved transformative. Night after night, she became a familiar and trusted presence in living rooms across the nation, creating a bond with viewers that relied not on spectacle, but on reliability and composure. Over the decades, she wore more than 6,700 dresses on the show, never repeating a single outfit, emphasizing a style of elegance rooted in discipline, consistency, and understated sophistication. This consistency became a hallmark of her career, showing that success could be built through reliability and presence, not constant reinvention. The early years of her career highlight important lessons about patience and resilience. Unlike many who rise quickly and disappear just as fast, Vanna White's trajectory demonstrates that long-term planning, careful choices, and consistent performance can lead to enduring stability and wealth. Even small decisions, such as refusing to ask for family support or choosing roles that aligned with her comfort and skill set, reflected a mindset of deliberate growth rather than short-term gain. These choices not only allowed her to survive in a competitive industry but eventually positioned her to capitalize fully on her moment when the opportunity at Wheel of Fortune arose. Her story shows that the path to success is rarely linear and often requires resilience through uncertainty, a lesson applicable far beyond television or celebrity culture. While her public persona emphasizes warmth, charm, and approachability, the foundation of her success is rooted in careful planning, self-discipline, and a commitment to long-term stability rather than fleeting recognition. These principles continue to shape her personal and professional life, guiding decisions about her estate, investments, and philanthropic efforts. Vanna White's life today is as much defined by her choices at home as it is by her presence on television. While her public persona reflects warmth and composure, her private world, particularly her estate in Beverly Park, California, illustrates a commitment to balance, privacy, and careful planning. The estate itself is much more than a home. It is a thoughtfully designed sanctuary that mirrors the calm and consistency she embodies in her professional life. Spanning approximately 5 acres of hillside land, the property is carefully set behind secure gates, offering both seclusion and a sense of grandeur. Its Palladian facade, topped with terracotta roof tiles, conveys classical elegance, while tall palm trees and a sweeping cobblestone driveway create a dramatic yet inviting approach. The layout is designed to impress subtly. A central axis runs straight through the heart of the property, visually connecting the main house to a butterfly-shaped pool at the rear. From above, the estate demonstrates a strong sense of symmetry and proportion, signaling that every detail has been carefully considered. The exterior design, completed by architect William Hablinski in 1998, is deliberate rather than flashy, emphasizing quiet sophistication and a sense of measured scale rather than extravagance. Stepping through the gates, the visitor encounters a motor court framed by the main house's wings, arches, and classical proportions. The entry sets the tone for the interior spaces, elegant, well-planned, and inviting without being ostentatious. Inside, a double-height foyer immediately establishes a sense of space and light. Pale stone floors reflect soft sunlight, while towering columns and twin staircases create both drama and balance. A large chandelier draws attention upward to vaulted ceilings, emphasizing the home's sense of scale without overwhelming the visitor. Long, arched hallways extend outward from the foyer, lined with classical wall sconces, sculptural accents, and carefully chosen furnishings. The European influence that runs throughout the estate is both consistent and understated, reinforcing a sense of timeless style. These corridors connect the various living spaces in a way that feels natural, encouraging exploration without disorientation. Each room has its own personality, yet together they create a cohesive, harmonious whole. The main living areas balance formality and comfort, reflecting Vanna White's preference for spaces that are both practical and aesthetically pleasing. A grand living room features a stone fireplace, plush seating arranged for conversation, and layered rugs that add depth and texture. Nearby, a wood-paneled library offers a more intimate atmosphere, complete with floor-to-ceiling cabinetry, leather seating, and personal items. This room feels private and reflective, designed for reading, study, or quiet thought. The formal dining room continues this theme of measured elegance. A long table sits beneath an ornate chandelier, surrounded by high-backed chairs. Large windows and French doors allow sunlight to fill the space, creating a calm environment suitable for long dinners or gatherings that prioritize connection over display. The kitchen, while practical, maintains refinement with cream-tone cabinetry, stone countertops, and professional-grade appliances. A central island anchors the space, providing a functional area for cooking, while exposed beams and hanging cookware give the room a sense of lived-in warmth. The primary suite of the home occupies a separate wing, emphasizing privacy and tranquility. Layered drapery, plush carpeting, and a fireplace create a serene atmosphere, while large windows connect the space to the surrounding greenery. Adjoining dressing rooms and bathrooms reflect a similar attention to detail: marble floors, soaking tubs, custom vanities, and chandeliers elevate everyday routines into moments of calm and reflection. Beyond the primary suite, secondary rooms offer a variety of purposes: a private gym, a meditation or tea room with Asian-inspired design, and a temperature-controlled wine cellar. Each space reflects the same values that define her life: careful planning, balance, and understated luxury. Outdoors, the estate fully embraces Southern California's indoor-outdoor lifestyle. Covered terraces, loggias, and gardens extend along the rear of the home, leading directly to the butterfly-shaped pool. Surrounding palm trees, manicured lawns, and thoughtfully placed seating areas create a resort-like ambience. Beyond the pool, the property includes a private vineyard that produces up to 150 cases of wine per year, transforming the estate from a simple residence into a self-contained, multifaceted retreat. Vanna White's approach to her home mirrors the broader philosophy she applies to her life: careful attention to detail, quiet consistency, and an emphasis on quality over showiness. The scale of the home is impressive without being overwhelming, and every element, from architecture to furniture placement, supports a sense of calm and balance. It is a private sanctuary where the distance between public visibility and personal space is carefully maintained. In this environment, she can step away from the pressures of fame and focus on family, relationships, and personal interests. Transportation also reflects her thoughtful lifestyle. Vanna White's choice of vehicles emphasizes practicality, comfort, and understated elegance. Her Tesla Model Y is perfectly suited to daily life: quiet, efficient, and modern. It supports errands, studio commutes, and afternoon outings with ease. Its cabin is calm and minimal, aligning with her preference for a sense of control and clarity rather than excitement. With seating for 5 and an estimated driving range exceeding 480 kilometers, the Model Y demonstrates her focus on practicality and forward-looking decisions. Valued between $45,000 and $60,000, depending on configuration, the vehicle is consistent with a lifestyle built on ease, balance, and everyday comfort. At the same time, Vanna maintains a connection to the joy of driving through her Mercedes-Benz SL-Class convertible, which reflects an earlier chapter of her life focused on leisure and enjoyment. This car, with its timeless silhouette and polished interior, was ideal for coastal drives and evening trips, often shared with a close companion. Its soft leather, poised stance, and refined details create a deliberate driving experience, one that mirrors the elegance and calm authority she brings to her daily life. The SL-Class, valued between $80,000 and $120,000 depending on year and condition, is both practical and aspirational, a vehicle designed for enjoyment without excess. Together, these cars reflect different aspects of her life, one for modern, efficient mobility and the other for quiet indulgence and enjoyment of the moment. Vanna White's lifestyle extends beyond her estate and vehicles. Her daily routines emphasize comfort, consistency, and meaningful engagement with the world around her. Unlike many celebrities, her days are structured, calm, and grounded. She spends time outdoors, enjoys creative pursuits such as knitting, a practice she has maintained since childhood, and selects travel that is restorative rather than hectic. Short trips to familiar destinations and time spent in nature allow her to recharge and maintain a sense of balance. Even leisure and hobbies are approached deliberately, reflecting the same principles that guided her career and financial choices: patience, focus, and a commitment to long-term well-being rather than fleeting excitement. In essence, the combination of her estate, vehicles, and daily routines demonstrates a life carefully curated for privacy, balance, and quality. Everything from the architectural details of her home to the cars she drives and the routines she follows aligns with a larger philosophy: success is not only measured by wealth or fame but by the ability to create a private world that supports calm, thoughtful living. Vanna White's home and lifestyle illustrate that luxury does not always have to be loud or flashy. It can be subtle, functional, and deeply aligned with personal values. Vanna White's financial success reflects a career built on consistency, smart decisions, and long-term planning. While she earned millions as co-host of Wheel of Fortune, much of her wealth comes from licensing her image, particularly through Wheel of Fortune slot machines, which generate substantial revenue worldwide. Her careful investments in real estate, including Beverly Park and other properties in Los Angeles, further increased her net worth, which is now estimated at around $85 million. This financial security allows her to maintain a lifestyle of comfort, balance, and privacy, rather than extravagance or display. Beyond wealth, Vanna White is deeply committed to philanthropy. She has contributed millions over the years to causes that matter to her, including St. Jude Children's Research Hospital, breast cancer research, children's hospitals, education programs, and disaster relief efforts. Her giving is thoughtful and consistent, reflecting her approach to life, quiet, deliberate, and meaningful, rather than for publicity. Her personal life mirrors these values of stability and calm. Since 2012, she has been in a long-term relationship with John Donaldson, and she remains close to her children, Nicholas and Giovanna, fostering strong family bonds. Her daily routines emphasize balance, creativity, and presence, including hobbies like knitting, time outdoors, and selective travel. Vanna White shows that true success is not only measured by wealth or fame but by the ability to create a private, fulfilling life grounded in discipline, consistency, and connection with loved ones. In every aspect, from career to home to family, her life is a testament to quiet achievement and long-lasting stability, offering lessons in how patience, thoughtfulness, and careful choices build both wealth and happiness. Vanna White's life story offers more than just a glimpse into celebrity wealth. It shows how discipline, patience, and thoughtful choices can create lasting success. From her early years in South Carolina to decades on Wheel of Fortune, she has consistently built a life that balances public recognition with private comfort. Her estate, vehicles, and daily routines all reflect a preference for calm, practical luxury rather than flashy display, demonstrating that true elegance often comes from subtlety and consistency. Her financial decisions, including smart real estate investments and image licensing, have created long-term security, allowing her to focus on family, personal growth, and meaningful philanthropic work. Vanna's story also reminds us that fame does not need to define a person's life. By cultivating stability, close relationships, and intentional habits, she has created a private world that supports both her happiness and her legacy. For viewers, her journey provides a model of how careful planning and steady effort can lead to fulfillment beyond the spotlight. If you enjoyed this inside look at Vanna White's lifestyle, don't forget to like the video, subscribe for more celebrity lifestyle stories, and share your thoughts in the comments. Her story proves that success is not just about recognition, it's about consistency, balance, and living a life designed to last.